Have you ever felt like life has singled you out as a target? Like no matter how much you build, how hard you strive, or how deeply you love, a giant wave just comes crashing in to knock down your sandcastle and drag everything back into the sea. I know you're tired. I can feel the weight on your shoulders right now. Maybe you're staring at the ceiling at night, asking why me, or how much longer. But listen closely to what I'm about to tell you, because this might be the shift your soul has been screaming for. Your pain is not the end of your road. Your pain is the forge. It is in the unbearable heat that the strongest steel is shaped. They say lightning never strikes the same place twice. But what if it does? What if the storm takes everything, not once, but twice? That is where most people give up. But it's exactly there, at that breaking point, that legends are born. Stay with me. I need to tell you the story of Michael. Because if Michael could learn to breathe again, you can learn to fly. Michael knew loneliness before he even knew how to tie his shoes. At 8 years old, he watched his world collapse for the first time. He lost his parents and his older brother. Overnight, a house full of laughter turned into a cold orphanage. He grew up with that hollow feeling in his chest, that hole that feels like it will never close. But Michael had a fire inside him, a sacred stubbornness. He swore to himself that he would not be a victim of fate. He fought, he studied by candlelight, he worked double shifts, he swallowed his tears, and he built, and life, in its infinite dance of highs and lows, finally smiled at him. By 30, Michael wasn't that scared orphan anymore. He was a self-made man. He found Sarah, a woman who seemed to carry the sun in her eyes. They married, and life gave him the greatest gift of all, twins. Leo and Lily. Suddenly, the silence of his childhood was replaced by the sound of toys hitting the floor, drawings on the fridge, and Daddy being shouted at the front door. Michael would look at his family and think, I won. I rewrote my history. The past is behind me. He finally felt safe. He finally felt complete. But destiny is an unpredictable, and sometimes brutal, master. It was a rainy Tuesday. An ordinary Tuesday that was supposed to end with dinner and homework. But it didn't. An accident on the highway. A runaway truck. And in the blink of an eye, in a cruel snap of the universe's fingers, the silence returned. Sarah was gone. Leo was gone. Lily was gone. Michael survived physically, but inside, he died on that road. Imagine the scene. The house, which once vibrated with life, was now a mausoleum. The toys were still there. The scent of Sarah's perfume was still on the pillow. But they weren't. The man who had overcome orphanhood in childhood, now, in the prime of his life, found himself alone again. But this time it was worse. Because now he knew exactly what he had lost. Michael spent months locked in the dark. He didn't open the curtains. He didn't answer the phone. The pain was so physical he felt his bones ache. His mind was a vicious cycle of, why did I survive? Bitterness began to take root. He had every right to hate the world. He had every right to give up, to surrender to addiction, or simply to cease to exist. Who would judge him? He reached the edge of the abyss. He looked down. He was ready to let go. But one afternoon, while rummaging through a box of memories, he found a drawing by little Leo. It was a simple drawing. Stick figures, Mummy, Daddy, and the kids, under a giant yellow sun. And underneath, in that crooked handwriting of a child, it was written, Daddy is our hero. That hit Michael like a punch to the gut. He fell to his knees and wept. Not the weeping of despair, but the weeping of truth. He realized that if he gave up now, if he let the darkness consume him, he would be killing their memory too. He would be saying that the love they gave him wasn't enough to keep him standing. He understood, in that moment of absolute clarity, that the pain he felt was actually love. It was all that love he had to give, with nowhere left to go. Michael stood up. He washed his face. He opened the curtains and let the light into that dusty house. It wasn't easy, it wasn't fast. There were days he could barely get out of bed. But he decided that his life would not be a monument to sadness, but a sanctuary of honor to those who were gone. He transformed that dammed-up love into action. Michael began using his weekends to volunteer at foster homes for children who, just like him in the past, had lost everything. He would look into the eyes of those scared boys and girls, and he wouldn't just say, "It's going to be okay," as an empty platitude. He would say, "I know how much it hurts, and I am here." He became the father, the mentor, the friend that he himself had needed and that his children could no longer have. Every smile he could bring to one of those children was a tribute to Leo and Lily. Every time he helped someone stand up, he felt Sarah's hand on his shoulder. The pain didn't disappear, my friend. The scar remained there, large and visible. But Michael stopped looking at the scar as an open wound and started seeing it as a war badge of someone who survived hell and came back carrying buckets of water to put out the fire for others. He understood that tragedy took his family, but it did not have permission to take his humanity. And here we come to you. Look at me, or rather, look inside yourself right now. What is your tragedy today? Is it a failed dream? A broken heart? A stagnant career? The feeling that you are too old, or too young, or too broke? Michael's story isn't about "look how sad his life was." It is about the indestructible power of decision that exists within the human spirit. If a man who lost everything, twice, could find a reason to smile and serve, what excuse do we have to stay down? Life hit you. Keep your guard up. Plan a failed V. Alphabet has 25 more letters. Create Plan B, Plan C, Plan Z. Are you tired? Rest, but do not quit. The great lesson Michael teaches us is that we do not control what happens to us. The universe is chaotic. Accidents happen, crises happen, people leave, but we have absolute, sovereign, and total control over one single thing: our response. You can choose to be the victim of your story, the one who points the finger and says the world was unfair to me, or you can choose to be the hero who looks at the chaos and says, "This hurt, this almost killed me, but I am still here, and as long as there is air in my lungs, I will fight." Transform your pain into fuel. Transform your anger into discipline. Transform your fear into focus. Don't wait for the storm to pass, because maybe it won't pass anytime soon. Learn to dance in the rain. Learn to build your boat while you are sailing. You have a strength inside you that is dormant, just waiting for your command to awaken. The world needs your light. There are people who need to hear your story of survival in the future, but for that to happen, you need to win today. So, wipe your face. Take a deep breath, feel your heart beating. Boom, boom, boom. That is life applauding you. That is the universe giving you one more chance. Don't let yesterday steal your tomorrow. Lift your head. Look at the horizon. The sun is rising again. It is time to start over. It is time to win. Go and make it happen. Because you are bigger than any obstacle standing in front of you. I'm rooting for you. Now, go.